Welcome to this series on the Cities Skylines Map Editor. Now I'm going to start this part with a kind of a warning of a close shave that I've just had while I was editing the file. Now if you go to Content Manager, you will see a list of all the published maps which you can use for test play or real life game. Now what you need to remember is you see the name of the map and also the file that it's associated with. Now what you've got to be careful of is that even if they're not published, they end up in this section here. So I've got a file called new map waterside backup.crp and waterside crp here. Now if you don't publish them, so basically even if you publish them, they still show up in this area here. And the sting in the tail is if you delete this file, it actually deletes the file in the, if I come back to the map editor and go load, you will see the same files in this section here. So deleting a file in the content editor deletes it from the map editor, so you've got to be very careful when you're actually deleting these files. You don't actually delete the file that you're working on. I had a very close shave in the sense that I'd done some work on the road editing, and I was preparing for this recording, and I thought, well, I'll just have a tidy up of the files, and I actually deleted the file that I intended to use. Luckily I'd actually made another backup, which allowed me to recover. So this is just a warning in the sense that, I'm just going to load this file while we're talking. So when you're messing around with the content editor, be very, very careful that you don't actually delete files accidentally and lose all your work, and if possible keep multiple backups. So what we're going to do is what we're going to do now is we're on the new map. You can see I've now tidied the roads up, which we have done in the last part, and I've moved this road again over a little bit, and I pulled it a bit closer to this tile. Not completely, and I did consider bringing it down to here, and I thought it was a bit overkill. And I say the roads have been tidied up, so you can say now the road structure's done here. Now I am going to show you another quick tip warning that you need to do, is that I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to click here and just reverse that bit there. Now what you've got to be careful of is sometimes these, when you're editing, that shows up, but sometimes they will disappear. So when you've been editing a map for a little while, I think maybe if you come out here, see outside the playable area, they disappear. They show up here, but they disappear out here. And so what you've got to do is just be very careful. Effectively, when you're checking the roads, just run along them close up, just to make sure that you haven't got any breaks in there with the one way going the wrong way. So that's another quick tip that you need to do when you're working on roads. I'm just going to run through just to double check. Oopsie-daisy. Maybe if I come out a bit, just to make sure. Yep. Just before I started recording this, I was just doing some more minor touch-ups to the roads themselves. You can see I haven't really bothered to flatten out and get everything dead level here, because at the end of the day, once we're over here working in this area, you're not going to get up very high. A lot of these roads are going to be seen in the distance. So that gets us started. Now what I'm going to do, the focus of this part is going to be trees. So we're going to put some trees down, and what we're going to do is concentrate on the outside, not the inside playable area, but we're just going to dust some trees here. Now obviously these here, we've got 250,000 trees, so we're not going to put lots of trees down. And also, I was just going to show you, if I put something like that down, you're never going to see it. Actually, you've got to get in very, very close to see it. So what you've got to do is just come in here and see if I can delete it. I think you've got to right click. Is it right click or left click? I don't know now. Can't remember now. I can do it by hand. So that's the first tip, is that when you're doing trees out in this out in the kind of outer area, you need something with a little bit of height and size. Even these are quite small. See, that's not too bad. That's okay. So get rid of them there. And the other thing also is you need the brush strength really down low. And again, I'm just going to demonstrate. If I take these, and what you want is weak brush strength, but probably a very big brush size. And you go like that. See the difference? That's it. Yeah, if you click with the brush big enough, it will go disappear. So you've got to literally have this down about as far as you go, and you can see even now it will kind of just put in little bits and pieces like that. Now it pays to experiment with brushes to get a bit of a random effect. So, and another good tool is this one. This one you can increase the brush strength a little bit. It kind of puts the trees down at random points. Now I'm not going to go too far overboard here. Don't have to worry too much about going over the water, because at the end of the day, as I was saying, you're going to be back here and you just want enough trees to make it interesting on the thing. I mean, you can do this and just stroke over at random like that. Probably just going to put a smattering of trees here. Maybe just I can come in a little bit here, because I don't think anyone's going to be building that much here. Maybe we'll just come in there, leave that bit open, come over here. At the moment the way to think of it is I'm kind of just putting down a little bit of a base layer, just kind of just for interest purposes. Just put a few trees in here. Maybe switch back to this brush. Put some trees there. I think it pays to just kind of dot them a little bit. Maybe something like that. And again, it pays to come back, find the center square, just zoom in so you can see what's on the skyline. I think maybe here because this is a kind of flattish area, I think maybe we'll bump the brush strength up a little bit, drop the size down, and probably put a more denser covering of trees here. I don't think if you go over the water it will actually put trees into the water, but so we'll just kind of maybe just make this a bit more denser than the other places. Just yeah, I think that adds a little bit of interest. I'm not going to do this top part here. Maybe we'll just drop the brush strength down again, right, really low, and we'll just maybe kind of create the, drop the brush size down a bit, create the concept of a, up a bit, maybe a bit of a forested valley here, coming down, just through here. Maybe we'll to go to this brush. Yep. Increase it a little bit. Maybe just stroke some through here a bit. Maybe just kind of come in here, make the brush size a bit bigger. Maybe just go back to this spotting part here. Just kind of put a few trees in there. Maybe just drop the brush size down a bit. Oops. Get a bit stronger here. We've got some trees going up into the mountain there. So come back, have a look there, and then just to kind of add a bit of interest. So I think we'll drop the brush strength right down as low as we can get it. We'll just drop a few trees in here. Maybe come up to about there. Just fill that in, and then what we're going to do now is come to here, bring the brush strength up a little bit. Now I'm just going to add some, I don't know, too sure what this is, some kind of bigger pines here, just to add a bit of colour and texture, mainly in the near distance, maybe out here a bit. We've already used 12,000 trees. It doesn't take much to fill this area in. So, this is more close up. So if you see here, the kind of the trees add a bit more interest to the. Yep, I think that works. This is going to look a bit more coniferous. Maybe we'll just add it's making them look a bit uniform. So maybe we'll just dot them around a bit like that. Now, up here, just going to put the brush size up a little bit more here. Just going to put a light dusting through this valley, maybe up in the hills a little bit here, just to add a little bit of interest down there. Don't want any actually on the mountain side, so maybe we'll just put some here, maybe just a few here. Bring it down through the valley. So I'm keeping an eye on the top. I'd be happy to stop at about 50,000 or less for this outer area. As I say, you're not going to be able to zoom in and see the detail, so maybe we'll just make it a bit denser here, switch to the, and we'll just fill in this area a bit here, because this is an area where somebody may actually want to build out to, so maybe we'll put a few more in this area, switch to this and add some in here, back to this tool here, maybe a very gentle smattering of the peak here, and then we're going to get round to here, put some more, maybe we'll just change the theme a bit here, more through here like this. Just change back again to put some conifers in, and just kind of maybe bring it into the main mapping area here. Maybe put a few up here. Actually, let's kind of put a denser area here just to make it more interesting. Yeah, maybe we'll have the beginning of a forest, which will be used for forestry. And over here, go back to putting a little bit of a smattering across. Same here. Just working them down here. Maybe a little bit up in the background. How much are we up to? 16,000. Goes to show how many trees you can get down here. When you do this, and again we'll just put some, mix in some other conifers to add a bit of interest. I think that kind of breaks up the skyline a bit and looks a little bit thin there. Maybe what we can do is add in some quite dense trees through here, mix in a little bit more, because obviously this side hasn't got much of a skyline, so maybe if we add in a few more trees in this direction, it will make it look a bit different. Let's just try the night setting. That looks quite neat. Maybe we need some more here in the background. These trees catch the light a bit better, so maybe we can just donk in some more here across the background like that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I'll just try the other way here. Probably not quite so effective this side. Maybe we're just struck some more into here, mix it in. Maybe some more that way. And these aren't going to be the really dense for the forestry, because obviously it's actually outside the playable area, so I think that's probably enough for there. Is no point kind of going over the back here because you won't see them, because again if you come down low on the horizon. So that's kind of the trees laid in, main trees here. We're just going to drop the brush strength right down again. What I'm going to do now is kind of work in, just bump it up a little bit. Yeah, the brush size, take the brush size up a little bit. As you can see, it effectively only puts down trees where the red patches are, and so it creates a more random effect. So we're just going to maybe lightly dust some trees in on this side here. Just put some here. So the way to think of it is, these are the outer, what we're working on now is the outer tiles. So we're kind of working towards the centre. Whoops, kind of a bit too close there, but it doesn't make any difference. So we'll just kind of put some trees there. Just maybe we'll just plod in some different variety. here. Of course, now we can start thinking about, you know, if you put in some of the smaller trees now, just to add a little bit of variety, because this is where people could see the trees, the smaller trees. So maybe we'll just add some smaller trees in there. Maybe just a bit of variety coming in here. A bit more bigger trees here coming in. And just some more of these in. Up to 22,000, so we're okay. Maybe there. I mean, keep adding them. You've got to bear in mind that players can add trees and do what they want, and you will consume trees when you play. If you've actually played the game, know full well that people actually will consume trees quite considerably. So that kind of just gives it a nice little edge. And I mean, if you wanted to be a bit funny, I'm not sure how effective this is, but you can do things like this. Just put these wildlife little splotches in, maybe. Can't put them outside, don't think. Oh, you can, but I mean, to be honest, I'm not too sure how effective these wildlife spawners are, but let's just put a few in just for the fun of it. Just mainly round the edges, so that we've got a bit of wildlife wandering around. I'm not too sure what the wildlife will be, but maybe that's something for a test play. So we've kind of got the main trees round now, and what I'm thinking is, where are we going to put the denser, more forest parts? Part of me thinks that we need to probably get back to this brush size. What trees have we got here? Maybe drop the brush strength down a bit. Just mix in some more trees here. This is going to be like a forested area. These are quite small, so can't see my point in. So this is going to be, I think I'm kind of thinking this would be someone came up here if they wanted to do some forestry. Right, forestry. I don't want too much of a line, just let it follow this ridge line out a bit like that. I mean, to be honest, I've got no idea how dense this has to be. If you look at resources here, where is it, resources, there is no trees, so I presume the density of the trees, just gonna change to get a bit more variety, and these trees kind of, maybe we'll just come down on the map site here, maybe put a few more, make it a bit denser here. Side. Maybe I shouldn't have, maybe I should take this out from the dam area so it emphasises where the dam area is, but we'll put some more up behind like that. Maybe I need to kind of spread some trees up here, so it looks like a bit like the primeval forest has come in from down from the mountains. They call it the taiga, isn't it? Tiger was no, that's up in Siberia, I think. Oh, we've actually got a few trees in the centre of the road here. That's interesting. Maybe we'll put a few up here. Maybe go here, take some of these off, drop the brush strength right down, go back to the dotty tool, maybe we'll just put a few trees up on the mountain there, maybe just few in there and a few in there. So we've got the first kind of forest here building up there. Obviously that's some distance away, so maybe we'll put another one. Do we want too much forest? I mean, obviously we want something down here. It's the slope here, so let's kind of put some trees in here on this corner here. So in case anybody wants to do some forestry, we just mix it up again on this corner here. Maybe coming down a little bit like that. Let's say it's almost therapeutic in this. So we're gonna kind of blend the trees in. Maybe put some oaks in as well. Maybe just brush up a bit, make it a little bit bigger. So we can kind of make it look like it's a forest. So I'll have a forested area here, take it down to the river. Maybe make this a bit more deeper forest here. But this is one tile out, so maybe do the same here. I mean, if we build on it, it's going to get knocked down anyway, so they're a bit small, so I think we're... oh, that's better. Put that in there. Put some pine trees in amongst it as well, just to kind of build this up here, and this can blend it into the background here. Just stroke over this bit here. Just coming up to 30,000 trees. Bit of a bold patch there, but that's where the dam is. So we got another forested area here, which is going to be quite good. Maybe just bring it out a little bit. Let's create it so it looks like the road's going out into the forest here. Just bring it kind of across here like this. Maybe just into this corner of the map, the main tile. So just change again. Smaller trees cut in. Just over here a bit. Mix in some more of these. I think forest there. A little bit of forest there. So we'll just kind of make it a bit more mixed in here. Just put a few light shrubs in, they will go. Going to be a bit of a mixed forest. I'm not sure whether conifers fit within the concept of a kind of a deciduous forest, but then again I suppose if it was planted by man-made forest, then it wouldn't really make that much difference. So just maybe just brush it up a little bit this way, just bring it up a bit denser here, mix in a bit more of the other trees here, a bit more. Got some woodland here, a little bit of woodland over there. I think that's probably enough. Then again what we're going to do is go up there, just drop the brush right down. Must admit, I do like my trees, so apologies if you think I'm going a little bit over top, but then again, you don't like it, it's just a question of you're going to build on it, you just knock the trees down. I think we'll just lightly brush over this area just put a few trees in. As I say, most of them will probably get flattened as the city's built. So, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Maybe we'll put a few more over here. So, you've got to watch the beach. Important thing here. If you don't want trees on your beach, be careful. You've got some trees on the beach there, so you need to just pump the brush strength up a bit, just to remove the trees from the beach. There's a whole lot here. So we'll just remove these. Right. So I think what I'm going to do, no, I think I'm aware of the time, and I want to keep these episodes really short. So what I'm going to do is just do this, and then I think what I might do is just have a quick. So I'm just going to save this. I'm going to save it as aside, and again, if you notice here, it says new map, and what you need to do is keep saving it back with the same name. We'll publish it to the new game panel so we can test play it. So what I'm going to do now is I will see you on the main map, not so much to do a let's play, just to see what these animal spawners and that do work, so I will see you there. Right, welcome to the map. What I've done is I've kind of purchased the center 9 tiles, which forms the core of the normal map play. So just to, so you can look round, as you can see I've put those animal spawners down, but can't actually see them. I don't know whether animals spawn or what. So we're just going to have a look round just to see. Trees look nice and dense. Probably need to bring this out a little bit. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it needs to be a little bit denser. Maybe make this one a bit denser. This is quite nice here. So you can see we got some traffic there. Can't see any animals though. Maybe you've got to get in very, very close. So it goes to show that maybe you just need the animal spawners to be somewhere. Can't see any. Oh well. It was an idea, it was worth trying. Don't know whether if you put anything anywhere else, whether you get any seagulls or anything like that. Maybe I should put a couple on the main map, you know, in the main playing area. See what you get. Get a little bit of wildlife flying across. Anyway, so that's basically what I wanted to show you for this part. I'm just gonna move around. You can see now we've got some traffic moving along the roads, which is good. Kind of moving around. Got some train there. You can see the rivers. Can't go up too far because I've only bought the centre 9 tiles, but you can see the river's looking quite nice. Maybe you could put a couple of trees on the island here, maybe a little bit there to make it interesting. The ships are coming in quite nicely. So, oh, well, I don't know, that's okay. So that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Hope you found it interesting. I know it's only putting trees down, but I think up until you put the trees in, the map doesn't seem alive. It doesn't seem, you know, I mean, you can see here the trees emphasise the fact that the map's not flat, you know, the curvature of the map, which I think is quite good. It actually gives a nice view. You can see here now that even this way, where there's no mountains in the background, you've got a nice kind of view of what the environment will look like. And I think, yeah, and I know you can't see, even if we go right over here, and I know you can't see all the trees there, but I think they still have an impact going up like that on the horizon. Got this kind of, you know, little bit there to Daisy. You've got the trees up there on the high skyline there. So yep, I'm pretty happy with that. I might, it comes with the usual hazard warning that I will probably do a little bit more tinkering. Probably could do with a few more trees up maybe in here. I don't know. That's quite a nice. I like that. That's got quite a nice like primitive look to it on the sky, against the sky. Actually see some trees in the top of the skyline there, which is quite nice. So as you can see, we're getting very, very close now. The next part will be putting in resources. Oops, you can see the ship's kind of getting a bit nose to tail there, but yeah, so the next part will probably be all about resources, placing them, getting some farmland in, and ore and oil. I'm not too sure where I'm going to be putting it yet, so that's all for the next part. So that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it useful. Like and subscribe, and until the next time, enjoy your gaming.